What is the most rare quality seen in modern day society? What do you think? Have a think. What is some quality that people have and you're like instantly drawn to it? You instantly feel like there's something special there, something that modern day society lacks. What do you think? I think, from my experience, that the most rare quality is authenticity. Why? Because I think modern day society has created unauthenticity to be almost a quality that you want, almost a quality that is forced onto us because that's the only way. So take social media, for example, probably the most inauthentic thing, but it plays off human emotions. Like if I want to make an Instagram post and I show the highlights of my life, let's say I show the highlights of 4 months in the span of 5, 10 photos. At its core, that's highly inauthentic because that's not how I live my life. That's not how life is. 99% of the time, it's slow, it's a progress. It's spent cooking, or it's spent traveling to work, or it's spent time just with myself, journaling, or just being at the gym or outside running. That's like 90% of my life, 80% of my life. Work takes up a huge amount. And yet you see these Instagram posts, and I've done this, and it looks like that's their whole life. It's very easy to fall into that trap where you see someone else's Instagram and you think that's their whole life. That's inauthentic. It's not accurate of what is truly how they're living. And then you have people you meet in real life. Maybe it's at work or at school. And for example, I'll go into work and I'll talk to someone, a colleague, let's say. Maybe I'll go for a coffee chat with them. And you catch yourself thinking, do they want something from this exchange? Is there a mutual benefit rather than just catching up with that person? Maybe they need help in a project. Maybe I need help in a project. And I'm not just truly having a chat with this person. We're not just having a coffee. There's some underlying reason something I almost want to take from it. Like, I need your help. Let me tie this up, make it all very nice and fancy. Let's go for a coffee chat. Let's network. But really, it's almost like I want to benefit off you. Is that authenticity? Well, true authenticity would be coming up and be like, hey, it's socially acceptable for me to take you out to coffee and to have a chat, but really, I need some help on this project. Or really, long term, I want to build up a solid network and you look like a good network individual. I don't think they would really mind too much if you said that. I mean, maybe you'll be like, whoa, this is not the corporate rules. You don't do this. You should follow it. But you're not being authentic. But then it's not like I can do that, right? It's not like I can just go to someone at work and be like, look, I need the reason I'm networking with you is because maybe long term in the future you could benefit me. It's not socially it's not socially acceptable. So there's some cases you can't be authentic. Okay, fine. But what about when I meet someone and they ask me how I'm doing? Well, they ask me what I'm doing, and I tell them, oh, I'm an economist. I'm working. I'm studying. Is that who I am? Okay, it's what I do. And then you get into a conversation with them. You ask them questions. They ask you questions. It's easy to recognize when someone is being authentic. because it's so rare. You might think, oh, Asher, that's so silly. Like what? I wouldn't reckon that. Like, it's not like a huge rare quality. But people have said to me, because I've actively tried to be authentic to people, because I've recognized when people are authentic to me, how seen and heard I feel, they recognize it, they notice it. You know, and the question is, how do you be authentic? Well, I think the first step is to not put on an image of who you should be, of how emotionally you should be, how your life should be together. When someone asks, oh, how are you doing? You can be honest, be like, oh, you know, I had a really tough week. I was not productive. I felt could have done more, you know. But then, okay, there's a line here. There's a line. So I'm just saying this, and I'm imagining myself hearing this. You got to be like, you can't just say this to someone, maybe first time you're meeting them, because it's not really socially acceptable. You kind of got to find where the line is and not like chase them away. If you said that to someone, it might feel like you're putting on your burden. You're putting on your burdens on them. Like, you got to be wise with who you tell, right? Guard your heart. Be careful what you say to people. Like, don't expose your whole life, but it's about being genuine. You could do it even just by listening. Like, you don't have to say anything about yourself, frankly. You could keep quiet. And yet, if someone asks you, no, if I'm talking to them, let's say I'm talking to you, and you're telling me about a new instrument, let's say you're learning guitar. If I am truly authentic, I will listen to that. I'll acknowledge that. I'll play it back to you. And I'll ask you questions about that. Why? Because I'm genuinely interested. You'll be surprised how little people are genuinely interested, or they don't show interest when you talk to them. And so yet when you show interest to them, they suddenly see you. They're like, whoa, he hears me. He sees me. And in your eyes, their impression of you, in their eyes, goes up a lot. It's almost like standards these days. Like, you do baseline stuff, things that should be, as humans, we should be doing to each other, treating each other with kindness, being authentic, listening, showing that engaging when you interact with someone. They see it as like some rarity. It sounds crazy, but it's actually really easy to stand out in modern society, as long as you portray qualities that most people don't portray. And the honest truth is, it sounds egotistical, but the honest truth is most people don't portray authenticity. Most people don't portray engaging. Most people don't actually listen. Most people don't actually know how to communicate. I'm not coming at anyone. That's just how society has been raised. And I've fallen into this. I've had cases where I've caught myself and I've been like, I was not authentic in that interaction. I had other stuff on my mind in that interaction. I wasn't really listening. I wasn't engaging. But being aware of that and then fixing it in the next interaction you have, that's truly powerful. Like when I watch YouTube or anything on social media, but let's pick YouTube. It's so inauthentic. It's so fake. It's like it's really, it's quite disheartening actually. Like, I would love if YouTube was more like this videos. Like, I have some guys that I watch that I love, like Santiago. He's amazing. He's so good. There's another guy, Shimon, I think. I think that's how you say his name. I don't know, but they're just like no edits, just truly authentic, and they just talk like I'm right now. And it's like I think the world needs more of that. You know, I think there's not enough of that, even as friends. it's so easy to run away from the hard conversations and the vulnerable conversations because it's a protection wall. It's a protection wall. We don't want to let people in, and yet we can feel like we can let strangers in on the internet, why I think this is quite powerful. Now, maybe you know me in real life and you watch this. Cool. I'm always here to talk, but maybe you don't know me and you're watching this. That's probably even more powerful. You know, I think that's where the power comes from, and that's what like drove me to start this whole channel as well, is to drive this, you know, this authenticity, this realness. And it's so easy, like even for me to want to make other videos which are maybe less authentic. And some of those videos like are forced to be inauthentic because it's just content. It's just knowledge. Like I want to make a video on Venezuela and everything that's been happening in Venezuela for the last 20 years with like the oil and the crash of the economy with the presidents and the huge inflation. There's like so much. I was looking into Venezuela, very interesting country, terrible economy. Like it was, I mean, it was very good in a couple of years ago, 10, 15 years ago. Now it's like there's no worth to the currency. Stuff like that. Like videos on economics or finance, those are going to require maybe just pure content, pure knowledge, right? That's not going to be authentic. But videos like these and philosophy on thought-provoking questions, they require authenticity. Because if you're not engaged as a viewer, if I'm not being authentic, then it's not really, it's just because it feels like I'm shoving knowledge, info down your throat. And that's not what this is. I'm learning as much as you are. I'm learning as I speak. I'm thinking as I speak. It's not like there's a script or something that I have it all figured out in my head before I film something. I don't. So yeah, be more authentic. I'm trying every day, be more authentic in how you treat people, in how you treat yourself. Be honest with yourself, Don't hide away from how you're feeling. Because that's when you start to live what feels like a lie. I've been there, done that, not fun. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Go outside, touch some grass. It's quite beautiful actually. I don't know where you all live, but in the UK right now, the weather is beautiful, absolutely stunning. Thank you for listening, as always, and hope you all had a lovely Easter, and be blessed. Talk to you soon.